Okay. Okay. Let's start the game. Let's start the game. All right, I'm back. Hey. No, I was not on earlier, PT. I just got on, hun. How are you, hun? No, you're not late. If anyone's late, it's me. It's me. Start the game. Okay, so I hope everyone's
And
doing.
Casey Tron is.
I hope everyone's doing well. I don't know if this is gonna be an official stream in the sense of this becoming content, because I got a few things that I may have to do. I'm not gonna be doing no artwork right now on screen, sadly, because I have to do something. So I want to kill two birds, one stone. Yeah, kill two birds, one stone, bro. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Wait, is it up there? Oh, it is up there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Bam. I don't know if this is gonna be official. Like, it's a stream, but like I don't know if it's gonna be official content for future stuff because I have a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline anyway. Social ninja. That right now. That's what I need. Okay. How are you, PT? How are you, hun? I don't know why if I say your name, it feels like I'm saying something else. Like something inappropriate. I don't know why. It's very weird. It's a very weird thing. Alright. Let's see. Okay, your name's there. Okay, everything's up there. So I don't know if this is going to be actual content for the future that I'm going to clip out and then use as a form of, content. A bunch of stuff here. Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna take my phone. Do a bunch of stuff today. Oh, you're dead. Oh my god, this phone's dead. Great, that sucks. Well, tomorrow will be. I think tomorrow we're gonna play game. I don't think we're gonna do any artwork. I'm not sure yet. Because tomorrow we're gonna be playing Marvel Rivals and see how Jubilee plays out. I gotta play some new games on stream. I don't think playing Overwatch um and the other games are gonna cut it anymore. I think we need to check out Repo and Peak and try out some brand new stuff. Play more horror games. That'd be fun to jump back into that. Hi, Silver. Hey, Shelf. Oh. All right, so yeah, today is a very weird day. We're gonna be this time. I'm gonna be kind of like, sorry, word. I'm gonna be reacting this time. Right here. Right here. Oh, maybe I should. Like this. Like that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Usually I'll have my artwork over my head while I'm doing art, but I will not be doing that right now. I have something I have to do that's important. Hopefully I'll get it done in time. Doubt it, but we'll see. So I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna put this here. Okay. Yeah. Right there. Let me get there real quick. Should have had this all ready before I started the stream, but you know, I tend to be too spontaneous when I have to. Okay. should be able to hear you guys in my ear now. So I don't have to keep looking at the chat. Okay. Alright, let's see. Physical possibility. Okay. What'll that tell? Okay, let me see. I noticed for me only rained for 10 to 15 minutes. That sucks. I hate when it rains that short. That's fucking short. I like it when it rains for hours, or at least for most of the day, or for the whole day, or sometimes for a few days. I love rain. Rain is a calming sounding thing. Puts you to sleep, makes you don't want to do anything. You just want to chill, watch TV, probably play a little video games. I love rain. Rain is where it's at. I don't know how people hate rain. Rain is like the best. It makes you want to just do nothing. Yeah. I don't know. People who hate rain, I don't know. I don't trust y'all. People like, rain makes me feel sad. Why? Why? Why it make you feel sad? Me, rain means yard for work for me. Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry, hon. I am so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Let's see here. I love rain. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. Let me see. Rain means yard for how you are. I'm doing well. Just did my thing. Let me see. Probably things for Hugh's death from Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, you can. Yeah, you can probably think of that. Full Metal Accident. That's funny. I know you meant like Alchemist, but like when you say Full Metal Accident, it's funny. Unless that was on purpose. Um, all thing when I actually heard the VA pass the same day. What? For real? The voice of May Hughes really died? Aw. 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 That's so sad. That's so sad. Oh, that so sucks, yeah. Hey, Mighty. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Does it show the thing? Wait, does that show? Oh, no, it does show it. Never mind. I thought it did. Didn't. Okay, put that in the corner right there. I'll make it a bit bigger. Yeah, make that a bit bigger. Ooh, it's out of frame. Hold on, guys. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Make it a bit wider. Okay, there we go. So usually I'll have my artwork right over my head while I'm reacting, but I have to do something. Sencam. Sencam is back. Wait a minute, Sencam. What's that? Unless I'm having a blank. Okay, let's jump into it while I work, because I'm doing some work for my job. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of that while we react. Try and knock two things out of the way. I didn't want to like miss today, so I don't know if this is gonna be like eventually like actual content because I'm not paying attention completely. Yeah, I'm definitely having a blank. I probably know what you're referring to. Okay, bud. All right. Yeah, most people do. Most people do. I do too. I'm being honest. Um, it is what it is. All right. Let me see. So this video, for those who are here, this is from Asmongold. It's from Asmongold's Clips. And it says here, she got what she deserved. So I'm not sure who he's referring to. I don't know if some Twitch streamer is feeling as a female. She probably did something that pissed off the community. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. This is new to me. This was posted 3 days ago. So we're going to see what this is about. I've not watched this. This is just as new to me as to y'all, just to let you guys know. So if I make some type of statement and then something happens on screen, That's not my fault. like if something was brought up at the last second. Anyway, so while I'm working and you guys are watching, that's what's gonna be happening. You won't be seeing my artwork over my head today. Won't be doing that right now till I get what I need to get work done. So as I'm working, I'll be listening and watching alongside with you guys, and we'll see where this takes us. All right, so let's do it. Let's jump into it.
Has been banned. I know she's been banned. Nobody knows why she got banned. It literally just came out. Clip surfaces of Caseytron driving yesterday while disagreeing about her chat about her state of sobriety.
Honey, if McDonald's is the ultimate destination for your late night rendezvous, then you need to step up your game. Those fries ain't gonna dip themselves. But I'll say this, if you're going unprotected, at least get a Big Mac to go with that questionable decision.
Damn. Damn. What a start a video. Holy moly. So let me get this straight. This chick was driving on Twitch with her chat open, which you're not supposed to do, per se. I don't know why you fucking streamers keep doing this. Why do you guys keep fucking... You know that driving and streaming is a problem. Just stream when you get to your destination. Why do you need to stream while you're driving? I don't see the problem. Right? Not even Sal will help. That's crazy. But what's weird about this is that, like, or maybe they do it because they know it's on that weird line of, like, I could get banned. So I'm just kind of, like, trying to play that devil's advocate to see if I'll get banned. Maybe that's what that is? Right? Father's Activity 101, bro.
This is where you're at now. You're 15 years into the streaming game, 14 years past your prime, but you're still live.
Damn. You're 15 years in the streaming game, but you're 14 years past your prime. Ooh. 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 Ooh, that's mean. Even I think that's kind of mean.
You're driving to McDonald's drunk on stream, reading chat, listening to an AI voice tell you that you're fat, and you're DUI.
Like, if that were the case, then restaurants wouldn't be allowed to serve alcohol at all.
Because they sold you alcohol, it's okay for you to drink and oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, sobriety test me, bitch. Sobriety test me, breathalyze me, bitch.
Oh my god. She just said that. Holy shit. Right? Oh my god. Bro, this is exactly why I keep saying that the age limit should be all at 21. Everything you get to do is at 21. Now, I'm pretty sure she's much older than what she is. I think she's probably near her late 20s. She looks like in her mid to late 20s. Probably. Maybe she's in her 30s. She kind of looked like she hit that 30 wall, kind of. And let's just be honest. Let's just be clear. Just because you hit your 30s as a woman doesn't make you less valuable. Well, that depends on how many children you probably have. And if you're single, that does bring down your sexual marketplace or sexual market value. But let's just say you're single, you have no children, you're in your 30s. If you take care of yourself in your 20s, or at least throughout your life, like take care of yourself, like work out, go to bed early, eat healthy, eat moderately, don't go out every day, stay up late as much on TikTok and stuff, you'll still look relatively good, right? So like if you're 30, you're still gonna look like in your mid 20s. I think we talked about this with the what was it? It was the extra Emily video. I posted that up today. It's out now, so you guys can go see the gags and stuff I put in that. But like, it's already posted up. You can go check it out. But with It's a Gundam. But like, if you take care of yourself, if you actually don't smoke, don't do drugs, go to bed, eat healthy, exercise, keep that up, brush your teeth, take 2 to 3 times days a shower type shit. Keep your health, your hygiene in check. You know what I'm saying? Keep healthy relationships. You're gonna look rather young. So if you're 30 or even 35, you can probably look like your late 20s. So if you're 35, you can look like you're in your late 20s. If you're 30, you still look like you're in your mid 20s, right? If you're in your late 20s, you can look like you're in your early 20s. It's possible, right? So always think of it that way, So, but if you go down that path of like saying 3 times a day, 3 or 2 times a day, it depends. Like most people do that, like I think twice a day. I think when they get up, they take a shower, and then when they leave, they come back, they take a shower again, type shit. I think it's 3 times or 2 times. I think the average of American like 2 to 3 times. I believe. I think it's 2, but I think the max is like 3 or 4. But I doubt you're taking a shower 4 times. That's a lot of water. But you know, the whole point is like if you take care of yourself, you can actually look pretty good for your age. Hey, what's up, noob? I'm pretty sure you sent me something. I'll check that out later. So I'm pretty sure that you're in here. Yeah. So if you're, so you can be past your prime, but you can still look like you're still in your prime. You know. Yeah, so your hygiene does, yeah, you're not wrong. Your hygiene is different from everyone else. Their pH levels, all that stuff, you know. So make sure to take care of yourself, right? And just overdo it with the soap. It's better to it's best to overdo it than not to underdo it, and then you're stinking up and you don't even know it. Sometimes people don't tell you. So it is what it is. So
She's reading chat the whole time. She's not even trying. This is worse than Extra Italy.
Okay, I don't really give a fuck.
I'm driving to McDonald's. I don't get, dude. Like, how is this not a permanent ban?
I don't really give a fuck. I'm trying to get to McDonald's.
I don't care about drunk driving. I'm trying to get to McDonald's. I've never believed something.
imagine if the soap could talk. That's ouch. Oh Jesus, the secrets of what the soap can tell you. And the horrors. I still look good to this very day. I'm pretty sure you look good, PT. I'm pretty sure you look good, hun.
More in my life.
Hi/drunk slut. I'm literally not drunk.
I'm not drunk. If they unban this girl for drunk driving, you have hoes drunk driving, essaying, reading chat while they're driving, doxing people. Like, dude, Twitch, like, what the fuck happened, man?
You know, like that's what really like.
This is what happened is that Twitch has brought in too many of those simps into the division when they're supposed to have. I wonder. See, the thing is, it's weird. If you hire a bunch of women at Twitch to that'll be hard because if you monitor a bunch of women who's in Twitch, they might actually favor the women over the men, low key. But if you bring a bunch of men, they might favor the women, low key. So it's not like not all, but like a good, you know what I'm saying? If you hire a bunch of women and they like certain streamers more than others, there should be some form of oversight with that. I think Twitch needs oversight when it comes to his monitoring. Maybe, you know what? Better yet, maybe they need an AI. Maybe the AI needs to be needed. Maybe we need to get rid of these monitors. It'll be so unbiased. Yes, streamers who does this need to get their license revoked and get to jail time. You're correct. This is fucking stupid at this point because like I think what we need is replace. I know this sounds horrible to say coming from me as an artist, but like this is the idea of keeping things balanced or at least keep those checks and balances in check. I think the best thing to do is get AI to do the overseeing of modernization. But then again, that's still scary in itself because the AI, I know from my own experience that TikTok sucks because I think they're using AI to oversee everything. Because there are times when I'm just like talking normally on TikTok and the thing will instantly say I violated some bullshit because it heard 1 or 2 keywords of what I said without the context that's in placement. So that's where that problem comes in. If you can train the AI to understand context, because the irony about this is that whenever you use TikTok, I don't know if anyone knows this if you're a streamer, but it does do that thing where it does every 5 minutes, I think every 5 to 10 minutes, it always gives a brief synopsis of what happened in the last 5 to 10 minutes, what we're talking about, which I don't like that per se when it pops up because it feels like it's literally listening to everything I'm saying. But then again, it's like it's trying its best to understand what is happening within the context. And I think that's the point. I think the point is to train the AI to listen to so many streams and see where the wrongness comes in. And then it trains itself, or at least they're training it and feeding it so much information to see how it can take something as contextualized as possible. But see, the thing is, I think what also brings another problem to that is that a lot of people tend to use different lingo within their streams to replace certain words, so it can't really make a good distinction of what's being said, because in one stream they might be describing a certain group of people as like, see, like when I'm referring to the T's, I refer to them as Decepticons or Autobots or Transformers. It's it's funny, but like the point is not to be offensive, but the point is to bypass that particular term so YouTube doesn't flag me on what I'm talking about, but it's in the context of what's happening. So what happens is that word that's being replaced for something else, it may not know what I'm talking about, right? And then there's another stream that might refer to them as something else, not as Transformers, maybe as they'll call them software engineers. You know what I'm saying, or like they'll call them cars, because you know what I'm saying, you can interchange them, or you can call them Lego people. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So like so that's where that problem might come in as well, if AI is trying to like learn different streams, unless everyone has their own personal AI that monitors them from whatever platform. That'll be interesting, but yet kind of annoying at the same time, because no, I don't think that's a good idea. When I think of it now, that sounds horrific. One more I think about it, that sounds actually a bad thing. My streamers do times, folks. Okay.
The same girl that said I killed my mother. The amount of sympathy that I have for this? Zero. You get what you fucking deserve. Wait a minute. So she had 3,000 subs back then, and now she's down to 200? You lost 90% of your subscription base. No, look at this.
What? Go back.
The amount of sympathy that I have for this? Zero. You get what you fucking deserve. Wait a minute. So she had 3,000 subs back then, and
she had 3,000 subs back then.
Now she's down to 200?
What? Bro, imagine you have 3,000 subscribers, paying subscribers. If say each of them are $5, maybe the lowest tier is $5. If she has 3,000 subscribers, just say it's 3,000, not 3,500, 3,000, and she's getting $5 a month from each of them, that's $15,000. She's making $15K a month. That is roughly that's $180,000 a year. She makes just as much, well, almost as much as that of like a neurosurgeon, I think. Software engineer. Holy shit. And she's only at 200. So she's only making $1,000 a month now. She makes just enough to pay half the rent. Actually, that's probably wrong. Maybe not even half yet. Rent is like what? Average like $2,000 now? Holy shit. Right? Guys, imagine making $15K a month. Imagine making $15K a month. And that's just Twitch alone. God knows if she has an OnlyFans or some shit. I don't know who that that streamer is. Just imagine she had an OnlyFans. Or she had sponsorships on top of that. Especially if they're very lucrative. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Let me see. PT said, I went to the theater restaurant and saw the Toy Story 5 movie. And I was disappointed, but the rest was unique and the food was delicious. Aw, a theater restaurant. Never been to those. How, like, so what is it? Is it actually like like it's like a regular theater, but you have a table you can eat at? Just like how you would like walk in like any other theater, but there's tables where you would sit, like mini tables, I guess. That is actually pretty cool. At least the food was good. The movie was horrendous, but then again, you know, I'm not even surprised to be honest. It's not even because I hate Toy Story. I love Toy Story. It's just like Toy Story has become the villain now. It's just like it's just a husk of its former self.
You get what you fucking deserve. Wait a minute. So she had 3,000 subs back then, and now she's down to 200? You lost 90% of your subscription base. No, look at this, bro. Like, Casey, I think it's time for you to go back to McDonald's. Well, okay, all right, let me clarify, because I think she might have gotten the wrong message with me saying that. To apply for a job.
Said it's just been such a fucking struggle. I'm just so fucking tired. It's like you don't get a lot of support.
I'm not tired. I just woke up.
You know, Asmongold's community.
You shouldn't have talked shit about me. What do you think? I'm a target dummy? The only time I think about you is whenever you're talking about me. This disgusting person should be permanently banned off of the platform. You are drinking and driving, you're reading chat, and you're also doing it all on stream. You are a worthless garbage.
Have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions. I'm sorry. Like, you're a millionaire, you have all of the resources in the world.
Wait, whoa, back up. What?
The platform. You are drinking and driving, you're reading chat, and you're also doing it all on stream. You are a worthless garbage.
Have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions. I'm sorry. Like, you're a millionaire, you have all of the resources in the world. Why is your sick mother living like that? Like, I'll say it, I don't care. If that makes me a bad person,
Okay.
Still miles above of Asmongold.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I do genuinely believe that bad things do happen to bad people. And so whenever I see somebody saying this, I think it's just a matter of time. And whenever it inevitably happens, I will be there to laugh. And I think that many people will.
Damn.
I had to change the original title on that. Oh, really? Was it bad? Let me see. What was the original title? What did they think? It was a National Geographic video? They put it in the nature documentary section?
Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Oh man, I tell you, boy. Holy shit. Anyway, she said, while I was watching the film, I wrote some critical comments and positive comments while watching the movie. So I basically... Ooh, are you going to be making reviews? PT, you're going to be making reviews, hon. Like, is it animation reviews, movie reviews, or both? Or you're just going to do reviews? If you do reviews, you might do well in that. Because I know you're an animator, so, like, I think your niche would be pretty easy from that point as an animator. You can give your, like, criticisms of, like, animation on movies and stuff, specifically just movies that are animated. You don't have to, like, over niche yourself. Going after that another person's sick relative, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. You never go... See, the type of people you never go for in war is people who are not involved, family members, children, and sick, disabled individuals, unless the disabled individual is the one that's looking for the war. And even when that happens, you have to give a little bit of decorum and just, like, back off a little bit because, you know, but when they keep going, that's where you destroy them. So, modern, let me see. So, this video, I don't know if this is going to be a video, so like, subscribe, share, follow, and comment. If you enjoy what you just saw, do you agree with Asmongold, what he said? Do you think she's evil for, like, driving while, you know, on on Twitch, just like Extra Emily? Is she saying what she's saying about his mom cool or horrible or AKCB? You tell me. Now, we're going to jump to the next one, but with that said, like, subscribe, share, follow, and comment. I'll see you guys next one. All right, so we're going to jump over to...
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here.
To Rev. Rev says Desu. I think I'm saying it right. I think we all know who Rev is. to a degree. But it says here, modern audience is canceling evil Chainsmoker Cat anime and getting brutalized by community notes. So I don't know much about this anime. I don't think he's gonna tell anything about like any spoilers. I don't think he's like that. But he's gonna probably mention some things that might be a spoiler, but enough to not ruin it for you completely. So let's see what Rev says and see where this goes, because you know the modern audience don't like anything that is different.
Here. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about an anime that is trending for both good and bad reasons. I'm talking about the anime adaptation of the series Chainsmoker Cat, which to many, they believe this is a very honest depiction of themes like depression and addiction. In no way are those themes glamorized in this series. In fact, a lot of people think this is a very candid and brutal look at the effects these sorts of things can have on your mental health. However, as the series has gotten popular in Japan, and most importantly, overseas, a lot of Western users are attacking not only this series, but also Japan generally, using misinformation about fake outrage regarding Japanese fans as an excuse to claim that all of the Japanese are a bunch of predators, and that's why they're mad about this series, I guess. The post people like this are reacting to comes from a supposed anime news source, which just like many is spreading complete falsehoods about this series for clicks on Twitter. In fact, they got hit with a community note dispelling their claims that the Japanese audience is dropping this series for being too disgusting and problematic. Now, when it comes to the anime itself, we're working on episode 2 right now, but when the first episode came out, it was a very sufficient gatekeeper. A lot of people saw the displays of depression and addiction in this first episode, and they tried to claim that seeing this in an anime was somehow glamorizing these sorts of themes. But of course, the outrage surrounding this has existed before.
I have never really seen an anime that just glamorizes something horrendous. In my honest opinion, I believe that most anime is good at really depicting how horrendous humanity can be. In most cases. In my honest opinion. Because I think what people consider, what we as Americans or Westerners consider what's glamorizing something is just the depiction of it in general, not the extra layers that are being presented within said topic. I think it's always like, just because it's on screen, therefore you're glamorizing it, not because it's needs to be seen and then presented as such. Just because it's even mentioned, that's the glamorizing. Ah, I see. Even though she is thick.
For the anime adaptation that's currently airing right now, when the manga came out a few years ago, there were malicious posts on social media.
Let me say, she said, I'm sorry, PT, she said, that'll be nice. Yeah, you should do reviews. Give it a try.
Media that was recognized by the series creator, who even considered taking legal action against some of these posts. But of course, when you watch the anime, yes, it does exactly what it is advertising. It is showing a lot of addiction and depression in a very brutal and candid way. And a lot of people do understand what they're looking at, even if it looks gross to them. They can acknowledge that this is a intentional effort to not glamorize.
Wait a minute. See, this is where we're hypocritical. I think I'm going to be very critical of us as the West, because how is this glamour? Okay, so the scene where we all seen the trailer. I don't know if it's out in English yet, but I think it's out in sub only right now. But we seen the trailer where she drops her cigarettes as in a bunch of dog shit or some type of cat shit. It looks like animal shit, right? And she's going to pick it up and still proceed to smoke it, most likely, right? That's a form of addiction, right? Why is that such a problematic thing to see, in the sense of this is glorifying it? when years ago, I think it was like what, 5 or 7 years. I think it was about almost a decade ago, I think, where they was showing. Oh, you're so ahead. It was heavy shit. I got you, bro. But where I don't know if everyone remembers this commercial, but remember when they make those commercials where they're trying to get teens not to, like, smoke? I don't know if everyone remembers this, but there was one of a girl who wanted to, I think it was vaping. I think it was vaping. And she dropped her vape in the fucking toilet. And I think if I remember right, do you guys know what I'm talking about? And she takes it anyway. In the bathroom. Does anyone remember that commercial? I think it was a black chick, if I remember right. I don't think she was white. If she was probably ambiguous. But then again, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Has anyone seen that commercial? I think she was a vape addict, and she dropped the vape into the toilet, and then she's like contemplating taking it, but she takes it anyway, and goes and cleans it off to go use it, and her friend is like in the room. I think her best friend is there with her in the bathroom, and she drops it in the toilet, and she kind of looks at her like, "You're gonna really do this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have to. It's my vape," or some bullshit type shit. It was horrendous. And then it was supposed to let people know how addiction can get really severe. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point. It was trying to teach kids not to vape or smoke or do weed or some shit. That was the point. So why is that not problematic, but somehow in the anime that's supposed to be technically a satirical sense of what? Comedy of what addiction looks like, to really show you what that could be? Why is that presented as evil? If anything, that's probably more real life than you think. Maybe we're not all dropping our vape and or cigarettes in dog poop, but there's people who don't give a fuck. They will do that because they need to get that hit.
These themes. You see quotes like this saying, Twitter people, when they realize addiction and depression can ruin your life and aren't just funny character traits. Here's another one saying, finally, a realistic depiction of what real depression rooms look like. Romanticized mental health never shows this. I'm happy they are saying the quiet part out loud, speaking from experience, unfortunately, trying to get better. Here's another one saying this is what depression looks like. Hell, the part of her, with her getting overwhelmed with cleaning her room and finding showering a pain, is literally how I felt before I started treating my ADHD. Very telling how people are reacting to this. Depression has been romanticized. And that is what a lot of people are doing on social media right now. They are basically misunderstanding the series, and they're trying to claim the series is romanticizing it, assuming if these themes are shown whatsoever, it must be done in a way that is trying to glamorize it. And of course, people are just...
Again, I think this is one of those situations where people, if they see it, therefore instantly as they see it, it doesn't matter if it's doing anything. Like, I think the grammarization in our heads is that if you bring it up, therefore you're glamorizing it. You are presenting it in a way that is either cool or this is okay behavior. I think a lot of people think, or there's a good set of people believe, if you show this, you're glamorizing it in general. Yes, they're trying to make excuses for themselves for not to see it, or why they shouldn't see it, or pretend it doesn't exist, or this is not a real depiction of people who are addicted, or some shit like that. Maybe for the people you know, or maybe someone you know specifically ain't doing exactly that. Maybe they're not that far gone, but there are people who are so far gone. I mean, people who said, I've been smoking since I was 11, type shit. We all know someone who has been saying that, whether it's an uncle, or aunt, a cousin, a brother, a sister. They say, I've been smoking since I was 11, or some bullshit. It's usually some young ass age. So
just generally saying it's too gross to watch, right? It's too gross. In fact, it's so gross. This is the worst anime of the year. But of course, you can see replies ratioing this user saying, I don't think people realize what this show is. It's not a romanticization of an addict's life. It's a genuine depiction of living with addiction and depression. You're uncomfortable with it because you haven't struggled with it at this point. The show is a litmus test to see if you guys can have a shred of empathy for a real self-destructive person, and you've obviously failed.
Ah, damn. 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 Come on, we know someone who's like this, or have came across someone like this. Actually, I was meaning to watch that Rui Rocks. Is it worth it? I think the main character is pretty heavy. She got some heavies, but like, is it worth it? I don't want to. Is it worth it though? Okay.
And of course, the anime news related accounts like this are quick to swoop in for engagement farming. I don't trust pretty much any of these types of accounts because they're so desperate to farm clicks and engagement for pennies of Twitter ad revenue. They'll say just about anything. In fact, as we see right here, they'll just make stuff up entirely.
Well, you do like to research, so.
So they say Chainsmoker Cat is reportedly being dropped by
now
the
you remember.
Japanese
You know what I'm talking
audience.
about now. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if you look it up, you know what I'm talking about. If you type in girl drops vape in toilet in commercial, you'll see what I'm talking about.
For being too disgusting. Now, all of the complaints I've seen, of course, were from Western Twitter users saying it was too disgusting to watch. But of course, this claim about the Japanese audience is completely made up. Completely made up, but this tweet still gets 27,000 likes. But you can see the note saying this. There is no evidence that the Japanese audience has broadly dropped Chainsmoker Cat for being too disgusting. Japanese reactions are mixed. Some viewers dislike the gross out humor, while others praise the series for committing to its premise. And if you look at various sites like Nico Video, for example, it was #1 trending among anime. The first episode got that much attention. Of course, some people don't like it, but overall it seems like a lot of people enjoy the series. So any claims being made here that the monolith of the Japanese audience is dropping the series is completely and utterly made up. But of course, when you have an English anime news account like this...
I'm pretty sure most Japanese people are pretty aware that addiction is a real problem. And then I'm pretty sure majority of them know someone who works, whether it's a Japanese businessman or something like that, that smokes. I'm pretty sure they do know someone who smokes. And given how I've heard like horror stories on how, yeah, they say that. They say, I don't know if this is like just a stereotype, but like a lot of Japanese will tell you. Yeah, like a lot of Japanese will tell you that like the Japanese work ethic is insane. Like it, but like the business like cubicle like atmosphere is really hostile. And if some of you have ever seen the show Zom 100, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like being in the Japanese cubicle like hierarchy is very, very stressful. Is extremely stressful. And it shows that in the show. And I think, if I remember, I think the main character ended up smoking a little bit just to get his nerves into check. I don't think he had an addiction or anything, but I think he came across a colleague who was smoking and they shared a smoke just for once. He said he never smoked before, but it was just that bad to the point that, because you show it depicts like how horrendous it is to be a more lower employee on that food chain if you're not like the manager or some shit. And then you started finding out about a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes in the show, in his work life, where the girl he liked was getting fucked by the manager. That's not really a big spoiler at all. You're gonna figure that out in a couple episodes, in like the first 2 or 3 episodes. But at the work office, I'm saying, like office space type shit, it's horrendously like stressful. So, and then I think some of the characters started smoking because it was just that stressful. Some of them was already smoking, some of them started smoking. because it was just that bad. So, yeah.
Making a claim that is even slightly negative towards the Japanese, what happens?
No, it was really subtle with it at first, and you're like, oh, okay. They didn't well, not subtle. They did show it off in the first episode or two, but like it was like, right? I was so surprised that he survived that long, bro. Like, come on, like that's crazy. I don't know if this is gonna get a season 2 though, or a 3. I don't feel like it's gonna get another season. I don't feel like it will, but then again, it was entertaining to watch.
Usual suspects come out and express their racism towards the Japanese, and these posts are diabolical. Here's one quote saying, "If Japanese folk don't have constant being pumped into their dopamine receptors, they don't want it." So basically, this person is casting an entire blanket over Japan, claiming they're all a bunch of predators, which is very interesting to claim for an individual like this, because if you scroll through their account for 2 seconds, you find them being a hypocrite. I mean, here's them excitedly saying yes, with a picture of Miku and Brazilian Miku making out, which of course she's...
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? It's always the same people who bitch about, oh, you're drawing that anime chick with big titties, you must be a gooner. And then when you check their profile, it's some insane feminist crossed individual who's a furry, and they're into a bunch of weird shit. They're into like insane, horrible sexual deviancy nonsense. Like, it's not they're just straight. They're into everything but straight. You know what I'm saying? Every time. They're battling who gets Miku. Oh, they're with the soccer shit. That shit's crazy, yo. Every time. Every time. Every time. Every fucking time. It's insane. It is insane. Every time when I do artwork of any chick and they come in my stream and they bitch about me drawing some chick who happens to be attractive or lean or something, they bitch about, oh, you might be drawing this, you might be a gooner. And then when you look, there's some type of insane furry person. And they're into some very dark, eldritch ass shit. It's insane. Hey, what's up, bud?
A canonically underage character. What would this person be under their own standards that they use to literally demonize an entire group of people over fictional content? And of course, we're far from done. Here's another user saying Japanese anime fans when there's no incest or predatory content in the plot. Once again, dropping a giant blanket statement on an entire group of people.
And if I have to look at that picture, and it's the shadow picture. This person who posted this said that has a shadow picture. Best believe if you go to their profile, they have a bunch of Sonic shit, sexual shit on their shit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if you go to their profile, the people who are complaining about, oh, there's no incest in the anime stuff and blah blah blah. If you check, they have a bunch of furry, demented shit. I'm telling you. Every time. The hypocrites are insane, yo.
People over fictional content, over a post that is literally made up, but any excuse to go after the Japanese, I guess. And if you look at the accounts that are making it, this he, him is yet another hypocrite. You see...
What'd I say? It's always some shit. Every time. Every time.
Right here. Very happy to post high school students sleeping together in a different anime. I guess it's okay when this person does it, but when those Japanese viewers do it, it is something that gets their entire population demonized. And then you can see them posting over artwork of the character Toph from Avatar, saying, I haven't watched Avatar, but she's low-key bad as F. And just in case you need a reminder, this character is 12 years old. What does that make you under your own standard? You probably don't like that, but this is the game that you started. And of course, these people who are the ethical ones watch a cartoon about birds and they immediately think about prostitution. The normal people, ladies and gentlemen. But here's some more. Another person saying, incest lollies, predators, okay, mental illness. Whoa, 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 not my catgirl anime. Again, just as a basis here, they are responding to a made-up post with a note sitting live on it, but they want any excuse to be racist towards the Japanese.
Hey,
and I find it very ironic that someone who thinks so negatively of Japan has literally dedicated their entire online presence to making artwork in their style. But of course, if you look through their account, well, it gets messy pretty quickly. In fact, they have underage characters from Sailor Moon kissing. This is their own artwork.
There you go.
So, again.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Caught him. We caught him. We caught him, boys. We caught him. Me drawing someone like Bulma in a bunny outfit. Note, a grown-ass woman with, I think, 2 kids. That's demonizing. That's evil. Right? But God forbid you have 2. Tell him I hope he's having a great stream if he's gonna stream. I need to react to his other 2 videos. I never got to. I think he posted about 2 or 3 videos as recent, but I gotta go check later. But they have 2 underage girls kissing and glorifying it. Shit. Yeah, she was like that for a while. Right? Those are actual 2 teenage girls, probably 15 and 16. They're not even 18. Kissing. But if I draw someone like, I don't know, fuck, who I can think of right now. What do you call it? One of the Genshin Impact ladies who are like in their 30s. Somehow I'm the scum of the earth. Grown woman though. Grown ass woman.
Pot calling the kettle black in this situation. But let's keep it going here. This individual
you notice
says
these people never leave anime? You notice that? They always want to come in and complain about what the Japanese are doing. The same Japanese who made anime in the whole point why you're into it. You know what I'm saying? Have you noticed that? They never want to leave, but they always have a complaint. They never leave. But they bitch and moan about everything the Japanese is doing. But they can't help because if tomorrow the Japanese stop making anime, this will collapse almost instantly.
Japanese chuds are okay with incest predatory content, but draw the line at depression. Again, reacting to a completely made-up claim. But if you look at the account here, oh, you see they're from Brazil. Oh, well, maybe you should stop worrying so much about the Japanese when reports like this just dropped a few days ago about 800,000+ live births in that country from mothers aged 8 to 17. Wow. That's crazy because they don't even have those icky Japanese cartoons over there. I can't believe this is happening. I think you should worry about your own country before you start making blanket statements about an entire country like Japan over fictional content.
You know what happens?
But here's another user saying the only reason Japanese folks are dropping this anime is that it shows their life outside the office exactly as it is. A pitiful existence. I'm just going to assume this is projection. Also, hammer and sickle, pronouns, you got it all.
You got it all.
Absolutely.
That's a great indication to know they're crazy. Whenever they have any socialist, communist nonsense in their shit, and they call themselves he, him, they, them, whatever the fuck, that's a great indication. Now, I'm not saying everyone with pronouns is evil, but a good amount you are. So if I'm saying a good amount, I'm saying about 80% of you, 20% of you are probably pretty cool. 80% of you are probably fucking crazy.
Absolutely embarrassing, diabolical people making these claims, but you kind of expected that. Here's another user saying Japanese audiences will slap their bellies over the 50th tentacle grape gag, but draw the line at an addict girl acting like an addict. And then you look at the accounts, and, well, their inability to separate fiction from reality seems to make a lot of sense when you look at the person making the claim. But of course, here's another one saying, Sons of B, when the anime doesn't involve sexualizing minors or romanticizing characters with real depression. And this all goes back to the completely made-up claims that started this. And as pointed out here, crazy how you can just make up something with no proof given and phrase it, Japanese people have stopped eating toast with their breakfast, and cash in on Twitter blue money on 1,000 people going, must not have any little girls in it, thinking they're the first guy to say that. Yeah, not only are all these quotes completely unoriginal and racist, they're just downright pathetic in every sense of the way. They can't even attempt to check the claim before they start reacting in a racist tone towards it, right? A lot of these people making these quotes with the note already attached, like there is evidence on the post itself. The claims are made up, but they saw such a golden opportunity to make racist claims, they literally couldn't help themselves. So here we are. You can thank accounts like this for starting a landslide of negativity towards this series. They're all missing the plot in many literal sense. They don't understand what this anime is even trying to do. They don't really care. They just see it as an opportunity to say vile things about Japan, but many such cases, unfortunately. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Well, that was that. So, yeah, typical people being extremely, you know. So, yeah. All right. Had to turn it off. Okay. So let me see. Sorry about that, guys. I got caught up in something. All right. Oof. Oh no, man. We live in a very strange time. We live in a very strange time. Why is she hated? Sonny tries to ignore the rebellion and it backfires. Let's see this. So this is from Aspen Gold. It says the mask finally came off.
Reporting live for gay people? Oh god.
I hate men. I'm a misandrist.
What are guys getting so wrong?
Because you're gay.
I'm gay. Yeah. Gay guys are fine. Straight guys right now, huge problem. Why are men so horrible right now?
Men are misogynistic. Men want women dead, and men just want to rape women. It's disgusting. And
not the hot one.
I hate men. Dudes are just, oh my god, look at.
Wow, imagine a dude said this off rip. Some normal Joe Schmo said the same exact thing. Same thing. Same thing. But yet they say they're oppressed. They say the same damn thing. But yet they say they're oppressed. You know how you know you're oppressed? Is when you know you can't say it with a smile. Oh my god. Holy shit. Imagine a man said that same exact thing she said. He'll be fired the next day at his job. He'll be fired the next day. It could be if the video goes viral and a bunch of people saw it, he'll lose his job next day. He can work at the gas station. He'll lose his job.
Yeah.
Look at that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Would the world be better off without men?
Duh. Is that even a question?
Have you ever had a good experience with a man?
That's a great question, actually.
There it is. There it is. He asked the perfect question. He asked the perfect question. Have you ever had a good experience with a man? She says, that's a good question. How is that a good question? Is it yes or no? That means horrendously not. Holy shit.
No.
Most people's
there it is.
opinions about the opposite gender that are negative come from personal unresolved trauma. Every single time.
I said if you're oppressed, you can't talk about the thing that's in the room. Yeah, that sucks, bro. Only 4 hours? Oh my god.
Top bottom verse, Timothy Chalamet, Jacob Elordi, and Donald Trump.
I'm killing Donald Trump. You know what? I'm gonna get on top with Donald Trump. So I'll get him in a chokehold and shoot him in the fucking throat and
Oh my god.
shoot him in the fucking heart and shoot him in the fucking brain. And then, I guess like Jacob Elordi could fuck me. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it.
What was those questions?
We're interviewing like
What?
She can.
Fucking brain. And then, I guess like Jacob Elordi could fuck me. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm telling you, she's gonna have her job tomorrow. She will still keep her job tomorrow, bro. Holy shit. That shit is crazy. There's nothing gaming real for issue. Yep. Actually, it's like it's both. I think both women and flag people, because like if you think of it, they're both in the same tandem with each other. That's why she can hang out with him and he can hang out with her. If there was a straight guy there, they'll have a problem with him just because he exists there. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the my god. She can say that on rip. Remember, if you said anything like, imagine someone said that about Obama. Listen, I'm not even like a Trump supporter or anything like that, but like, fair is fair. You gotta put the principle in where it's supposed to be, right? If this was in Obama's era, and some white guy or even white woman said that same exact thing, shit, better yet, if there was black, if they said that, you think they'll be met with such such evil shit. It don't matter what race of person. If a black person said that about Obama within Obama's time of running as president, or a white person said that, they'll both be met with nothing but vitriol. Right? Obama. Right? And then, but because Trump is white and not overly liked, it's okay for her to talk about how she would end him. That is crazy. I trust none of those. I know. That's just crazy, though. Hold on, I can't speak the truth. But like, that's the thing. This is not about liking Trump or anything. That's not what this is about. The point is that it's such a double standard that women and I guess certain class of people can say certain things and get away with it with no problem whatsoever. That's insane. What she's saying is that she has a high hatred towards white straight men. Service was, yes. Direct. See, if any, it doesn't matter if you're black or Hispanic. If you was a white guy, straight white male, black guy, Hispanic guy, said that same exact thing she said, you'll be instantly met with hatred of social aspect and probably the law at the same time. But because she's a blonde little white woman saying this, we don't take her as seriously. Never mind.
What was the other one?
Just so sad. She can vote. I told y'all. Tried to warn everybody about this situation. I tried to say it.
Who do you think gives better neck, me or Charlie Kirk?
Oh.
What kind of fucking stupid question is this? Why would you... What? Aren't you gay? Why are you asking that question?
You, 100%. Duh.
Is Charlie Kirk the throat though?
I mean, like, ultimately, because that's how he died, so, like, low-key.
I love how there's like just 3 random, just like shaking their ass behind it. Same guy.
I didn't see it till he pointed out. I didn't even see that.
Oh, you, 100.
There are 3 bitches in the back shaking their ass. Yeah, they don't. It's only this. It's only certain people you could be racist towards. You could be racist towards white people. You could be racist towards Asians. But if you're racist toward like a black person as a white person, you will be met with something with hatred. If you're racist as a black person to other black people, you're gonna be called Uncle whatever, or Uncle Ruckus, or the case may be. And it is what it is. I didn't notice it either. That's how flat the ass was.
What's that?
You thought their ass was part of the trees.
Duh.
Is Charlie Kirk the throat goat?
I mean, like, ultimately, because that's how he...
The bitches are just back there shaking their flat asses. Like, what the fuck? Oh, a raccoon, right?
died, so, like, low-key...
I love how there's like just 3 random, just like shaking their ass behind it. Same guy from earlier went viral for this. No.
Beautiful trans women out here. Tell us about your
Black pancakes, yeah.
transition, how it went.
Why do you ask me those questions?
We're interviewing like trans women and stuff like that.
I'm not a trans woman. I'm a...
Oh no, we're fully supportive. Fully supportive. Do you want to talk about...
I love how she stops herself. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't say that I'm a real woman.
Sort of transitioning or anything like that? Or like what people can...
I never transitioned because I was born a woman.
No, of course you're a woman. Of course.
What is your opinion on trans women?
I support
What?
them and I love them. That's why we're interviewing them. We're showcasing them. And
well, you haven't interviewed one yet because I'm not a trans woman.
Is there enough?
Why is she keep bringing that shit up? He said you... See, this is... You know what? Good. I'm glad he did this. You know why? The reason why is because when you say you could just identify as anything just for the sake of identifying, he doesn't need to believe if you are or aren't. As long as you say you identify as such, even if you're biologically one, it don't matter. It don't matter. So this is why speech is very important. When you fuck up speech like this is where you get in these situations. Because I don't think he outright said she was. He just acts if you know what I'm saying? Yes, that's what he's doing. What he's doing is using the word woman, and every time she said, I am a woman, he's like, yeah, sure, you're good, yeah. She's a Decepticon. He keeps calling her a Decepticon.
Another definition that people like to use, or I don't mean to be...
I was born a woman. I was born with female genitals.
Okay.
So,
okay. I didn't...
you thought I was a man when I was born? You thought I was born with male genitals?
I believe that is an actual woman. I think that is an actual biological woman. The problem is, the reason why she's so offended is because, well, it's like, okay, how can I use this example? Drop them pants. But it's like when girls are like, oh, I'm supporting Lizzo. She's so brave. Lizzo is such a beautiful person, right? I stand with Lizzo, right? And then when you say, my God, to a girl who doesn't look like Lizzo, but, you know, the shape of what Lizzo used to look like, you know what I'm saying? You say to her, oh my God, you look like Lizzo. You know how fast they get mad? That's the whole point. They get mad when you call them, you look like Lizzo. That's the irony in this. Swimsuits. You think swimsuits might work? I don't know. In a fursuit? So that's the thing. So the issue here is that because he's not directly saying you are biological, he just said you are a woman, she keeps getting mad. All right, bro. Later, Mighty. That's the irony in this whole situation.
You thought I was a man. They did a study, and the study said something like over 70% of people hide what they really believe about this gender identity stuff.
I believe it. I believe I think that number's a little bit low. I think about 80% of most people do not believe in the gender ideology bullshit. I think it's even higher, probably 85. especially how much trouble it's caused. I think a lot of people hide that shit almost off rip. They just don't want to be met with any form of social vitriol. And I understand. I get it. I get it. To a degree. I get it. But the problem with that is that if you allow liars and evil people in a fat suit. I thought you meant fursuit. If you allow too many bad apples or liars or people who are going to see you become in power, this is what happens, right? That's why you need people to stand up and say the right thing, even if they're going to be met with some form of vitriol. Because if you don't, bad things like this happens. And now a woman who probably is most likely biological, which I believe she is, right? They'll say, I love Decepticons. I love Decepticons. I'm for Decepticons, and I'll protect the Decepticons, but compare them to a Decepticon, see how fast they get mad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. Shit's dumb.
Reason why there's so much, you know, quote, trans acceptance and a lot of this stuff like non-binary acceptance is because people don't want to get fired from their job because
Correct.
There's a particularly rabid, aggressive, small group of people that are enforcing this non-reality on everybody else. Everybody knows that if you get a tattoo all over your body and you make your skin black, you do not become an African American. You are not a black person. You cannot get surgery and become a woman. If you're born a man, you will always be a man. Now, people can respect and, you know, treat you with a degree of compassion, but a lot of times...
I think that's where the problem comes in. I think that's really the problem that comes from that compassion is taken the so-called sympathy, I think it's called suicidal sympathy, is taken for granted, and then these people get used up almost instantly. I think that's where that problem comes from. All right, later, Muffin. Let me see. What's flatter than their backs? The Decepticon, you know, right? Right? I hear you, Andre. I hear you, bro. Speaking for the rooftops, my dude.
People are doing it because they're polite, not because they agree with you. They're placating you. And I think this is like
yes, and that's where the issue comes from. Because they are allowing you to play make-believe in the corner, they believe because you get to play make-believe in the corner, they're in agreement with you. No, that's like a child. Like if you have a baby and they believe they're Superman, you're not going to stop them from being Superman. You're going to let them fly around and run around the room, or it can be, and do the stupid sound effects and stuff. But as soon as that kid started climbing up a ladder and started thinking they can fly, you start stepping in real fast. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Just because my son or daughter believes they're Supergirl or Superman and they have a little cape and running around, that doesn't mean that... The only thing that means is you're in a safe environment enough for you to say you are, and you're in a safe environment for you not to become what you are. You're just in this imaginary bubble that should be safe and let you know that you're in the limitations of your world. But once you walk past that limitation, holy shit, that shit ends almost instantly. You know what I'm saying? Like, snap that so fast. Thanos snapped that bitch so fast, because once that kid starts like climbing up a ladder, going on a roof, and trying to jump from the roof, you're in jail. That's the point. This is what's happening. Too many people has been given the idea to play make-believe, and because a lot of people have allowed that to happen, it tethers to their job or their overall social lifestyle. And because if you step into another person's imaginary space and say, hey, I don't think reality says, science says, instantly you're met with some type of vitriol. Doesn't mean as soon as I come to America, they don't make me white, right? Right? That's just crazy.
Overwhelming majority of people know that you can't change your gender.
I think that trans women are real women.
They are.
And that's where the problem comes in. The longer she says they are, the more you're gonna be in this fight with this man. So you're fueling the very thing you're fighting against. The irony in that. So she's offended that she thought that he's calling her a Decepticon. But she's inside of the Decepticon. But being mistaken for a Decepticon. And that's what I want to be. No, that's fine. You don't have to. Why it rains? Says from the trailer from Avatar. Can you guys explain why it rains? Says the random villager from Avatar. Oh man. Sometimes we don't realize we are our own worst enemy, and we tend to fuel our own success exactly. So if you guys like that, I don't think I'm gonna make it in the video because that's gonna be met with nothing but hatred from YouTube. So like, subscribe, share, follow, and comment. If I do decide to post that up, we'll see. I don't think I will because obviously YouTube's just gonna slack it down, like I did the other video. Fuck you. Anyway, so with that said, I like, subscribe, share, follow, and comment. See you guys in the next one. Alright guys, we're going to Clownfish TV. I haven't watched them in a little bit. And it says here, Invader Zim creator mad about new Boom Studios comic books. Now then I think we're all kind of familiar with the Invader Zim creator. I think he's a Hispanic dude. I forgot his name, but he's Hispanic. It is very crazy. But you know, craziness is only as poisonous as people allow it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like if most people would be supportive of a crazy person, the crazy person believes it's right. But once the crazy person is met with actual reality, even if they still believe they're right, they know in the back of their head there's a form of opposition that will come their way. You know what I'm saying? But when there's absolutely no restriction on what they do, everything they do is right. Even when they know it's nothing they have any form of experience in, they'll believe it's right because their head tells them to. I don't think the Johnny homicidal. It is a mental in a sickness, but I think it's more worse when people support it. It's like the episode where Lois is everyone's making fun of Brian. Specifically, Lois is making fun of Brian because Brian likes a bimbo white chick, right? But the insane part is like, she's saying that he's crazy for dating that chick who is dumb, but she's married to a man who is just as stupid. When you lack self-awareness, you do stupid shit and say stupid shit without realizing it. That's the scariest part. I think people who lack self-awareness is more scarier than people who's not who's aware of it. Because when you're aware of it, you tend to bend to the reality of what's happening around you. This is why people like Jeffree Star I would probably respect more than any other LGBT individual, because he knows what he is and he's not trying to say he's something else. And that's what, now that he knows what he is, he'll directly say, no, I am not a woman. I'm just a man who's gay and likes gay things. That's it. I'm not trying to, I do womanly things for obvious reasons, but then again, I am not saying I'm a woman. At least you can respect that to a degree. At least you know what you are. And you stay in that particular lane of what you are. But when you try to jump in lanes that you don't exist in, or you shouldn't be existing in, that's where I have a problem with you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to jump in lanes that has nothing to do with you. Right? So like let's use an example. If a person can say that they're a woman because they identify, what stops a person who is Asian to say they're Hispanic? What stops a Hispanic person saying that they're straight up African American? What stops a white person saying that they're Chinese? What stops a person who's Chinese saying they're Native American? You know what I'm saying? That's where that problem comes in, right? What stops a person saying that they're a cat now? They have no indication of being one. I don't agree with, but I respect it enough for you to know that you're in the reality that you're in. That's what I'm saying. I respect it to the point where you at least acknowledge that you are in where you are and you know what you are. but I don't agree with it saying that it's okay. But at least you know it's like a serial killer. It's like a serial killer who knows he's a killer and he likes killing. He's not saying there's things talking in his head telling him to do shit. There's nothing telling him this shit. He wants to do this. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not okay you killing people. But at least you acknowledge that you're a psychopathic person and you know it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. That's where it's like the Philippines. Let's just use the Philippines. Philippines or Bangkok. They have a high amount of like transgenderism that's happened there. But the problem is they don't call themselves women. They call themselves ladyboys. So they you know what you're dealing with. They're not even trying to play that game. I dress like woman, but I'm not woman. I'm ladyboy. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, if bro tell, and they tell you outright, they have no problem telling you. That's the funniest part. They don't try to hide that shit. They'll tell you directly in the face, I'm ladyboy. And then they'll double down, triple down, let you know I'm ladyboy. So if you fucking with me, you know what you're getting. But here in America, we teach people to hide shit and all that stuff. I'm not saying that they don't hide shit in the Philippines. There's some honest people, but I'm just saying we in America, we encourage the idea of being a Decepticon. And when I say Decepticon, I'm not talking about transgender. I'm saying like being deceptive in general. We push that for some odd reason. Yeah, Invader's Skin Johnny Vasquez. That's his name. Thank you. But I think they will. I don't think he'll ever get a TV show, because given how violent that particular piece of media is, that comic, even though it's insane and funny, but it's pretty insane. Like I don't think like every episode someone's getting viciously murdered. So like I don't know if something like that can be seen. Right? Spend that money. Yep. Spend that money.
So this is a pretty interesting story you sent over, that the creator of Invader Zim is mad because Boom Studios is doing comics and he wasn't consulted, but they said they consulted the creator of the show.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about this because we have done videos before saying that when you sell your IP to a corporation, they're really under no obligation at all to bring you in as a consultant.
Yep. And this is the scary. This is why I think sometimes IPs are scary, because your IP will outlive you. If that's the scariest part. Your IP will outlive you. So if you're a creator of, like, say, Digital Circus, that will outlive you. And once you give your IP to these companies, like, sign that bitch off, it's over. So this is why when people get so attached to like characters now, you shouldn't. You should know who they are, but you shouldn't, because what's going to happen is these companies don't give a fuck about how you feel, what this show has done for you as a kid, or the case may be. They will definitely just grape the hell out of that character. They do not care. So like, I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of years, not 10 years, couple of years from now, Digital Circus will have a reboot or a live action. I wouldn't put it past, in the next 5 years, there will be a live action Digital Circus. Jax will not be the Jax you know. If anything, he's going to be more trans than ever. I'm telling you. He's not going to be the cynical individual you liked at the very beginning of the first iteration of the show. He's going to be something completely different. I'm telling you. And he's the most liked character in the show. He is the Bakugo of Digital Circus. I'm telling you.
Unless there's something in your contract that says otherwise, it says that, hey, you know, I need to be...
Because once you sell that to Netflix and them, they'll use it. Yep, his name will be Jackie. He'll be trans. He's not gonna be played by a trans individual. He's not gonna be played by a dude who thinks he is eventually. Or while it was labeled to be. I don't think he is per se, but then again, based on how it was presented between him and Ribbit, I don't think it is what they're trying to really push, because it doesn't really make sense of him not wanting to wear the dress all that much. But then again, it's like, whatever. The point is that whatever you think of, whatever character you like from whatever show that becomes popular, it will be different when you see it. I don't think he'll be like a Jeffree Star. I don't think he's gonna. I think. No, I don't know. I don't think Jeffree Star refers to himself as trans. So.
Consulted if you're going to do anything with this. And sometimes when a creator sells their own creation on their own terms, they will put that in there. Like, you need to consult me. J.K. Rowling is one that she's like crazy about the, making sure she can micromanage everything. But we've seen several reboots or reimaginings over the last couple of years where the people who created the concept or created the stories of the story Bibles were not, consulted, and the results were disastrous. Powerpuff Girls
didn't like it. I was thinking Powerpuff Girls. That's the first one that popped in my head.
Yeah, they're doing another remake, but they're making sure that Craig McCracken's actually involved in it. The Gem live action.
Oh my God, they're doing another. Wait, what? Back up. Did they say another one? What?
The stories of the story Bibles were not, consulted, and the results were disastrous.
I told you guys, story Bibles, character Bibles is a thing. Told you.
Disastrous. Powerpuff Girls
didn't like it. I was thinking Powerpuff Girls. That's the first one that popped in my head.
Yeah, they're doing another remake, but they're making sure that Craig McCracken's actually involved in it.
So they're doing a remake of Powerpuff Girls.
The Gem live action movie, Christy Marks actually said she was available. She's the one who did the story Bible and wrote most of the episodes. She said she was available. They weren't interested in talking to her. Even the She-Ra reboot, Melody Britt said she was available. They didn't want to talk to her.
She was a voice actor, but yeah.
Yeah, but she could kind of tell them how. Well, that's probably what they're afraid of. They're going to tell us how to do it.
They don't want somebody. They want to do. They're new for their modern audiences, and they don't want to hear the actual creator say, "No, that's not going to work."
They did I remember this one. They did a Scooby-Doo Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover, but the creator of Courage, John Dilworth, was not consulted or involved in it. Usually what happens is the creators of these shows find out after the fact that a deal's already been signed, and they read about it when we read about it. So that seems to be what happened here. We'll talk about this. And again, this is kind of a cautionary thing. Like, again, when you cash that check, unless it's in your contract, you don't own your stuff anymore.
Right. When you sell it to them and you give them permission that they own it with their company, that doesn't mean that they're obligated to keep you.
Would it be nice if they called you up and said, "Hey, would you come in and take a look at what we're doing and see if this is in line with what you created?"
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that because
my God, and you know how much money they will save if they just did shit like that? Do you know how much money you can save when you do that? You're just waiting for Professor to become samurai check. I think there is a theory that they're related or some bullshit.
That's their plan, and they know you're gonna muck it up.
You know what? When I think of it now, I always thought the professor was a white guy. When I look back on it now, he does look kind of Asian. A form of Asian, like a Markiplier. So he could be like white and Asian. I don't know. It's weird.
They thought you'd be on board. They call you in, or then they have to pay you. If they bring you in and you have any input, then you're going to get royalties, and they have to pay you more money. They're not going to do that.
Well, it's interesting because I was listening to Rob Liefeld's observations yesterday. He had a newer episode talking about X-Men 97. They did an X-Force episode, and people were like, "Well, how come it's just Cable and we don't have the rest of X-Force?" And he said, well, because my deal, and he apparently has one of the best deals going at Marvel. He said, because my deal, every time they put a character I create in it, they have to cut me another check. So they limited all the characters that he actually worked on, and instead they had X-Force made up of like Archangel and Psylocke and Jubilee and other characters he didn't create. plus cable. So it's kind of weird, but that's his deal. And they don't do deals like that anymore because they've had to shell out a lot of money for Deadpool over the years. And I don't think they like to do that. They don't like to do it. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
If you'd like more Clownfish TV, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. And if you'd like to listen to us, go out to iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there. You won't miss an episode. So thank you very much for the support. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. This version is coming from Popverse. Invader Zim creator, I can't pronounce his name. Is it Johan Vasquez? Blast, Nickelodeon, Paramount, and Boom Studios. Oh no, Boom Studios as lizards for reviving the franchise without telling him. And
it says, I'm just waiting for the professor to become Samurai Jack. Learn from the mistakes from the others to help the learn from the mistakes from others to help better yourself. Yes. You have that makes sense. Learn from the mistakes of the past so you don't repeat them in the future. And we are repeating a lot of things that we didn't learn from the past. And I'm not even talking about like Martin Luther King on what he said. Like the whole based on my character, not my skin color type shit. And companies didn't take that into fruition. They took the skin color. And then we have the DEI thing. And even when DEI is, I wouldn't say gone. I don't think DEI will ever be truly gone. But because the DEI era has been such a cancer, even when someone who happens to be black or Hispanic or disenfranchised come onto a project, you use it as a form of let me see. I thought they were called show. There's show Bibles and there's character Bibles. I think show Bibles is basically what the concept of the show is. I think character Bibles is like it's the overall premise of the main character. What they look like from. It's like technically their first concept, but they try to retain the first concept as much as possible to the finished product. So the concept is not going to look exactly like the finished product, if ever. Rarely. That's very rare. If a company goes with, or a TV show goes with, a concept character off rip just on its concept alone, very rare. Most cases there is some form of change that does happen. Maybe the character needs to look more cutesy, or certain aspects of the character needs to be changed. Maybe it's too, I wouldn't say the word offensive, but it may cause confusion on what this is about. Kind of like if you watch the concept of what Steven Universe was. Steven Universe, when it first was presented, it did not look like the bubblegum looking, art style it did. It had more of a realistic Adventure Time look. If you get what I'm saying, it just looked more like if Adventure Time tried to be a little bit more realistic in its art. If you get what I'm trying to say. It looked like early 2000s or mid 2000s, early 2000s type art style type shit. But because I think everyone's seen the pilot from of Steven Universe, but like there's always a change. It's very rare they ever go exactly what it was. So yeah.
And the new writer is upset too. So I guess Jim Zub thought that this guy had been notified they were doing a new comic series. He was not, and he's pissed.
Yeah, that's basically what's going on.
Everybody's pissed about it. So let's see what they said. They said a few weeks ago, Boom Studios announced the good news. It was reviving the Invader Zim franchise for a new line of comic books and reprinting some of the best from its past. So they got the license for it. And just to tell you guys how it works, if you are a licensee for a comic book franchise from a Nickelodeon or a Disney or whatever it is, a lot of times you will have the right to reprint the older stuff too. And they don't
license.
Yeah, so they don't have to give royalties to, whoever had the license 2 or 3 licenses ago. That's just how it works. And Oni Press had it. for a while, so they can reprint that stuff. They said it was a welcome surprise for many since the original animated series ended some time ago, as did the previous comics, but it was even more of a surprise to the creator. And again, I think it's Johan or Jonan Vasquez, sort of.
Yo, I'm telling you something. If you, listen, I don't know if any of you hate, dislike, or I don't know, have a disdain towards someone like J.K. Rowling, but if I was any of you, you're thinking of making a comic, a web comic, a manga, whatever you want to call it, comic book. It's passed away a month ago. Yeah, he did, sadly. Kind of does look like the professor, not gonna lie. I forgot his name, but he did pass away. It was kind of sad. But what was I saying? The point is I would look in and research someone like J.K. Rowling on how she keeps her royalties in check. So, and then how Warner Brothers and them cannot move without her. I don't think there's not a single project they've done that has to do with Harry Potter and they just did without her say so or her oversight. So I think a lot of creators, as much as people probably may not like her for whatever reason, and I'm not talking about the trans thing, I'm talking about her feminist, ideals, or a case may be, but that's the only thing me and her might disagree on. Everything else, I have no issue with this lady. But, if I'm just saying to anyone, if you're trying to be a creator, a comic creator, a publisher in some form, or some type of comic book artist, or comic book creator, webtoons, whatever, I suggest research how this lady kept all her IPs under her thumb, so these companies can't move or jive without her. Persona 4 has been getting censored from Monte. Holy shit, that's not good. And I don't even play that game, and I know that's a horrible idea. That is horrendous.
Sort of like you all out there, I learned of the existence of the new Zim stories where when the announcement went out, he said on Instagram, the cartoonist said that he had been told the company was looking into reprinting the older Invader Zim comics, but he wasn't told that any new comics were being created, and he seems a bit insulted that he wasn't looped in. If you're confused by the announcement's mention of Zim being in an Irkin chrysalis, you're not alone. What the hell is a chrysalis? That's not even a thing. So yeah, I have no involvement in any of the comics, nor...
That's what happens, though.
Yeah. That's what happens when you sell it. I mean, people don't realize these showrunners, these creators, 99.9% of the time they were work for hire, even though it was their character. It says created by on the title screen. That doesn't mean they own it. The company that hired them or greenlit their show takes a lion's share of it. Sometimes they'll get royalties, but they still don't have any say into what they do with the franchise.
Right.
God
and
damn.
Again, it depends on the deal. And they're not giving out really, really good deals anymore because, frankly, there are more people that want to work in animation than the animation industry can realistically support right now. So, I mean, and if you're difficult and they'll spot that, they're gonna be like, oh, you don't like the way that the business runs, you're gonna be difficult. Well, it's
not necessarily difficult. It's just that they'll take it as you be.
Is he making a video on it, or he's just doing a stream on it?
Difficult.
They will take that.
You're asking the question everybody's asking, but you're difficult.
God damn it.
Yes. So you're like, how does some of this shit get greenlit? And I'm not saying Invader Zim was shit. It definitely was not. But how does some of the modern shit get greenlit? Those people took the deal.
Well, listen to this. Invader Zim was created by him back in the 90s at the request of Nickelodeon for a possible animated series, with Nickelodeon paying him for the work and, from our understanding, ownership over the whole thing.
Okay.
Even though he didn't own or control, since he doesn't own or control it since its inception, he's accustomed, as many creators would be, to being the primary voice and being asked to be involved in future projects. So that tells me that if they're doing it without him, then they have the ownership power to do that.
Yeah, they probably had their lawyers look into it. So there's new ownership at Paramount. That would be the Ellisons, Skydance bought Paramount.
Yeah, they have Paramount, yeah.
And they're going to streamline things as much as possible. I think it's so funny. We talked about the Supergirl situation and James Gunn. They're going to be buying Warner Brothers too. You're going to see a lot of this happen. If this is how they're treating the Paramount creators, you're going to see a lot of this happen on the Cartoon Network side too. And they're just going to be like, yeah, we're doing a new whatever thing.
We've
and
been seeing it, but yeah, it's going to get probably worse.
So yeah, he said when the Invader Zim comics were being published by Oni, he was consulted heavily and even asked if he'd be okay with them even attempting it. This, according to Vasquez, wasn't that. So of course, it's weird and uneasy for me to see something so personal to me rise out of its own power without my hand up the puppet hole.
Oh my god,
I love that.
Yo, hey, yo, calm down, bro. I know you're funny, but he's pretty funny. But Jesus, he's pretty dark with it though.
My hand up the puppet hole in this age of everything
Holy
becoming
shit.
content. He does admit that he knew this would be a possibility since he sold Zim to. Okay,
so he did.
He did sell Zim to Nickelodeon, but it still stings. The same with Ninja Turtles too. Like Ninja Turtles, it's been various degrees of good, bad, dog shit over the years, but Eastman and Laird have no say over it because they sold it completely to
Yeah, but
Nickelodeon.
see, you took the money, you sold it. I don't know what you're expecting. Like you're basically like, I sold it, I took the money, but I'm still expecting to get paid to be the one who gets to steer the ship. That's not how it works. If you sell your house, you can't just be like, well, yeah, I you were making changes to it, and I wasn't consulted on it.
We have a funny story. Let's just say that.
Bro set his hand up the puppet hole. That is crazy.
Let's just say, and he's a great guy, but the guy we bought our current house off of, he was building it for himself, and he had a hard time letting it go. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, but yeah,
but he wasn't this bad. But yeah,
no. But he definitely wanted to visit and see how things are going.
So he continues, but you'd have to be a special kind of oblivious to not understand. While it still sucks to not have control over something you see as yours. Well, that's the problem. You see it as yours, but you sold it. It's like when you sell anything to anybody, it's no longer yours. They might be able to bring you in as a courtesy, but they don't have to. Now, do I think it's stupid to not bring him in? 100%. But do I think that they're required to? No.
Again, this is why you need to figure out if J.K. Rowling has a different type of deal than other like type of creators, because we hear this time and time again where these creators would be extremely famous for what they make, but you start figuring out that they don't have no real say-so or power over said IP that they made. Right? So like it's always good to look into what Stan Lee did and what J.K. Rowling did. Because I'm pretty sure Stan Lee did sold some rights of like Spider-Man and what Jack Kirby did and all that stuff. But it just seems like most of the time he was involved in virtually every project that had to do with Marvel. Well, the movies per se. I know he did make some of the comic book, like the movies per se. He was always in almost every movie. There was like hardly ever a time he was not in the Marvel movies till his death. So I suggest before you make any concept art, you do any writing of any characters, you should do a full research how to make sure you get full royalties on all your characters, your stories, your IP, your project, your merch, how to make sure how to keep that legally sealed tight like a nun, because these people are already under the impression that you're too stupid to figure it out because they think you're too poor or not smart enough to defend yourself, to get the right people to represent you. You know what I'm saying? Like it like it's PT, but like it's like you have to make sure to have everything in check, because you'd be surprised how it just takes one inkling or one like crack in that armor, and if they can exploit it, they will use it, especially when they don't have to pay you, especially if it costs money. They will do everything in their power to shove you out the door so you're not part of the project in any which way, so they don't have to pay you, so they don't have to pay no royalties or a case may be. I suggest before you make any concept art, any lining or outlining of your story or whatever you have cooped up in that little brain of yours, first work out how to keep everything in your name so they cannot take it from you. The only time they can take it from you is either your family sold it to them after your death, or your kids can take it and be under control of it or some shit like that. Or someone you trust with it. Maybe you don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I think that's what Toriyama did to a degree. He let the other another Toriyama, take over. Tori something his name. He picked a dude with a similar name as him. Kind of funny. But he picked him as his successor to push the Dragon Ball Z franchise after he's gone. So, it is what it is.
No, and that's the problem. I mean, this is where people get hung up. They're like, what is legal versus what is moral? And you may say, well, they have a moral obligation to the creator and they have a moral obligation to the fans. It doesn't mean they have a legal obligation to do it.
Right. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to bring it back.
Oh, I think it's a terrible idea. Yeah.
Being involved, because it's probably going to flop terribly. I think it's a bad idea. I would personally bring him back in. But do they have to do it? No, because you sold it to them. It's no longer yours. You're putting quotes yours. And that's just it. It's yours in quotes now because you sold it. You took the money. You wanted that cash. This is what comes with it.
So Jim Zub got involved here, and he said that he wasn't aware. He said, I was told the Invader Zim team would be approving our material, but found out after the fact it wasn't Yonan, Eric Trueheart, or anyone originally involved in the series. So what they're going to say is, yeah, the Invader Zim team, which would be the brand managers.
Well, the people that are running it now, yeah.
Yeah, at Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon fired a bunch of people. They got rid of a bunch of people. Again, this is a taste of what's to come for Warner Brothers, which is why I laugh when everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be great, guys. There's going to be a whole renaissance of all these classic." No, there isn't. Oh, James Gunn's going to stay forever even after Supergirl flop. No, he won't. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this is how they run things over there, guys. Yeah, so that would be a shock for him, because if he was under the impression that everything was kosher.
He said approvals have gone through the Paramount licensing team, who I'm sure mean well, but they also don't have a personal stake in Zim's creative vision or future. But that's their job, and they own it now. He doesn't own it. And look, I mean, this is another instance which we talk about often. Two things can be true at once.
Yes.
He created it. It's his thing. People are probably going to be more on board with him. They're probably going to screw it up because it's not him. But they don't need to bring him into it because he is no longer the owner of the object.
So Paramount, their licensing team does not seem to give a shit, because they're letting them do all kinds of weird stuff with Star Trek over at IDW. So they don't really care.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like make money.
That's all they care about. Yeah, license out, make money. Because in their mind, anyway, the comic books are not canon. They're side stories. It's ancillary merchandise. Disney, that's how they viewed comics. They viewed them with I guess less importance than t-shirts, because the t-shirts made them more money. Comics are expensive to produce because you got to make a bunch of new pages of art, whereas with the t-shirt you pay somebody once, they create a piece of art, the company owns it, and they can slap it on merch from now until the end of time.
Well, you need to stop talking because you don't know anything about anything.
Oh my God. It's like, I've been watching cartoons my whole life, and here's what I think I've figured out about the cartoon industry. No, it's an industry, and it's going to get a lot worse. I'm telling you. The Ellisons, there's going to be a lot of cost cutting, and this is going to happen more and more often. But
now, to be fair though, it does seem like Zub was trying to keep it as what he could. So I mean, it was, since he was handling it, he was on his own trying to make it fit with what the original vision was, by the sounds of it, but still.
Yeah. So Zub says Boom Studios told him they've reached out to the creator directly with the hopes it can get sorted out. And this is what I say. Say, at the end of the day, this isn't the route I would have taken, but I hope the artists are having a good time and can pay their bills. Comics can be rough, man. Vasquez concludes, fuck the lizards that only see things as more content to churn out, though.
That's what it is. That's what, to them, they own it. It's just a cash cow. They don't love it like you do. That's why I say don't sell your darlings, because if you're going to sell something you don't care that much about, because as soon as you sell something you care about, it's not longer your child. It's no longer your thing.
Well, the problem is because the economics of the animation industry and the comic book industry are so lopsided in favor of the studios. A lot of times these artists will take whatever deal they can get, and then or they don't think the thing is going to blow up. They're like, well, here's the thing I made, and I didn't expect it to get that big, and now, oh my God, it's on lunchboxes, it's on whatever, and I don't get any money from that. I don't get any extra money from that, which happens sometimes too.
House never loses.
The house never loses. So, and I would say honestly at this point, there is, unless you're already big on your own, like I would say Vivzy Pop, she has a lot more pull. You're not going to be able to negotiate a really good deal at first.
Well, you said earlier about J.K. Rowling had one of the best deals. Well, I can tell you for a fact, as somebody who's seen contracts from publishers and stuff, they now have it listed that you agree that they get to keep the rights to theme parks and everything else if they publish your work. Like you have to agree to sell off those things that are monetizable. A lot of times, like that really big deal that she did, they have it set up in such a way that they don't lose that now.
Well, yeah, and all it takes is one success story, right? Because what happened with Star Wars was George Lucas got it made because he agreed to take a lot less as a director. And he said, okay, well, I'll take a lot less, but you give me the merchandise rights. And they're like, fine. Nobody's going to buy.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like it is now then.
Yeah.
This was a huge juggernaut that kind of kicked off a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. He's like, they're like, fine. Nobody's going to buy freaking toys of Star Wars. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, you can have that's fine. If you'll take less money, that's fine. And it turned out to be one of the biggest mistakes that 20th Century Fox made because Star Wars merchandise wound up being some of the highest selling pop culture merchandise of all time. Not so much now, but back then. And that's where most of Lucasfilm's money came from. So that was a smart business decision, but I think it was also kind of a desperate thing. But that also explains why Star Wars was so like almost over marketed before the movie came out. Like they were doing all kinds of specials and tie-ins and all this crazy stuff because they were rushing to get the merchandise out because he was going to make his money that way. But J.K. Rowling, nobody could have foreseen a young adult book becoming a theme park. So they're fine.
It's in the contracts now. Can't tell you.
It is in the contracts now. Yes, because everything's interconnected. So you're not going to get those good deals like they had back then. That's Liefeld was even talking about that. He's like, I got a really good deal with Deadpool and the X-Men characters I created because it was kind of like peak Marvel. Money was flowing and we had leverage.
They couldn't foresee how it became with streaming and everything else like that later either.
No.
Like they never thought in a million years it was going to go that way. They have to keep paying and paying and paying.
Yeah, and I don't think they thought that the characters he created, honestly, were going to be as popular as they were. It's probably like, oh, these are just like whatever side characters that we can't even domino. Yeah, that's not going to be. That's no Wolverine. That's never going to go anywhere. Yeah. So it's like, so because other people were successful, basically the ladder kind of gets pulled up by the studios because they're like, oh, we missed some money. Oh, right. Yep, we got to take. It's like the IRS. Oh, we missed some money. We're going to clean that account out too. And that's what they're going to do. So it sucks. I mean, I'm glad he gets to be consulted, but I'm sure he's not getting any royalties or anything off of these books,
I don't know if he is or not. If he's not involved, maybe not.
No,
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. That was contract. I couldn't tell you. But I just think that it was, I agree that it's crap. And consumers didn't know. They were probably just going to buy it up thinking he was involved and not knowing he wasn't.
Yeah, I'm wondering if let's see, here's the original announcement. Are people writing?
Here's the thing, though.
All right, we got to the point. Let's get something a little more interesting before I go. Let me see here. I'm going to run with... Okay. I saw it just earlier. Let me see. And that was getting boring after a little bit. That was making me a little tired. It was going to put me to sleep. Okay. Let's do this one video and then call it a night. All right. So
this influencer is at the center of one of the.
Okay, let's see what happens here. All right. So hey, X that out. What is happening?
Most disturbing pet sitting stories I've seen after a healthy husky never made it home alive. And
unpleasant dreams, bro. Hold on, bud. Hold on, bro. Okay. So this is from a Tozy. I don't know if this is gonna be a video, but we'll see. It says TikTok pet sitter returned dog lifeless in a bag. Holy hell. So we're gonna see what this is about.
This influencer is at the center of one of the most disturbing pet sitting stories I've seen after a healthy husky never made it home alive. And I think if there were genres to all these influencer situations that I cover, this would absolutely be in the horror category, because the woman at the center of the story was already being criticized online over accusations that she didn't follow through on a collab with a family-owned restaurant. But this is so much worse than that, because while people were digging through her past, they stumbled across something that's way more disturbing. So months earlier, a 7-year-old husky named Jia Cheng, or JC, lost its life while it was in the care during a pet sitting job. And what happened afterwards is the part that
A name like that, it must be an Asian family that was taking care of it, and then they gave it to this. She looks Middle Eastern, probably Hispanic, but I think his Middle Eastern lady, and she didn't give a fuck.
left a lot of people extremely shocked.
Everyone is talking about the influencer that's accused
There we go. I was right.
of scamming a family-owned restaurant. I believe my son JC also died in her care. My dog JC passed away while the same person, Famida, was watching him. When we got him back, he was in a suitcase, wrapped in trash bag. I will never forget that.
So according to the dog's owner, when it
Holy
came
shit.
time to recover
So she comes back to them. She comes back to them, and she decides to give the dead dog back to them. Holy shit! They didn't even say she ran away. She just brought the dog. I don't know if that's bold, stupid, or just honest. I can't tell.
the husky's body. It wasn't gently wrapped in a blanket or carefully transported to a vet. Instead, no, she says the dog was just placed inside of a garbage bag, and that garbage bag was then put inside of a suitcase, and then the suitcase was wheeled into a vet clinic. What? Are you serious?
What?
And if just that image alone isn't enough, it gets so much worse, because JC's owner believed that her dog lost its life because of what happened while he was being cared for. So Famida has repeatedly denied harming the dog. She says that she found him unresponsive in the morning and has said that she transported him in the suitcase because she didn't know another way to get him to the vet. Unfortunately,
What? It's a dog. A dead one. What do you mean you don't know how to put him? Pick him up, put him in the car. No, I was mute. No, I was in gasp. I was not talking. Put him in the car, drive it to the vet, and figure it out. What the fuck? She said she didn't know how, so she put it. Is it more work to put the dead dog in a plastic garbage bag and then put that garbage bag in a suitcase and then haul it around? Would it make more sense just to pick up the dog, put it in the back of the car, and then drive it to the vet? Bro, what is happening? What the fuck is happening?
Fortunately, a necropsy was unable to determine the exact cause of death because of the stage of decompensation, and no criminal charges has been filed. So today, we're going to walk through exactly what happened, how this case suddenly exploded months after JC's passing, and why so many people are still asking what really happened during those 10 days the dog was in her custody. So the owner at the center of the story is named Jenyo Lee, who also goes by the nickname 11. And if you just look at the photos of her and JC before all this happened, it's pretty obvious this dog meant a whole bunch to her. He was a 7-year-old husky who had been with her through everyday life, birthdays, outings, and countless photos together. Obviously, like most pet owners, she treated him like family. I mean, just look at the matching birthday cakes. It's just very clear that she poured a lot of love into this dog. But needless to say, when Lee needed to travel to China for about 10 days to visit relatives, she did what millions of people do every year. She started looking for someone to watch him. And that's when she connected with
You have no friends you can leave him with that you can trust with him? Why would you give him to a stranger? You have no friends whatever you can leave him with?
Famida Sultana. The two initially met through Rover, the pet sitting app where owners can hire people to watch their animals. But according to the reporting, they eventually agreed to take the booking off the platform instead. So Lee would pay Famida directly, avoiding Rover's service fees. And at the time, there wasn't any public controversy surrounding Famida that would have given
That's what you fucked up. You should have did that directly off Rover, because what'll happen is if she kills the dog, Rover is going to be responsible for her bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like if someone does some bullshit on let's say Uber Eats or like a Uber driver. You know, like if they fuck up, Uber has to answer to that. You know what I'm saying? You would have got a mass compensation. Oh my god, you know how much money you would have probably got for that? Not saying that the dog's life means money, but I'm just saying if she did this to Rover, maybe the bitch would be a lot more careful with the dog. I'm just saying. But because you did it off the, well, I won't say off the books per se, but you did it off rip from without any real oversight. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
A reason to think twice. So as far as she knew, she had just found someone willing to care for JC while she was away. So she dropped him off at Famita's apartment, said goodbye, and boarded her flight, believing everything was taken care of. So for the first part of the trip, nothing seemed unusual. But then the updates started slowing down. And not before long, what began as a normal vacation turned into the kind of situation that every pet owner dreads when they're thousands of miles away from home. At first, the communication was exactly how you would expect. Lee would check in, she would get regular responses, but then suddenly, the responses got a little bit slower. Something started to feel a little bit off. According to Lee, she suddenly started to get ghosted. So she would ask for updates, wait hours, sometimes even longer, and get little to no response. And eventually, after repeatedly asking, Famita sent over some photos of JC. Instead of reassuring Lee, the pictures absolutely had the opposite effect. So she immediately noticed that JC looked a lot dirtier than what he was when she dropped him off. In one message, she asked, hey, has he been playing in the mud because he was filthy? But unfortunately, that wasn't the only thing she noticed either, because Lee also thought that JC looked a whole lot thinner. So she started asking a whole lot more questions. How was he eating? Was everything okay? Could she get a few more updates? So according to the messages, the replies stayed brief and didn't really address many of her concerns. Eventually, though, Lee came up with what seemed like a simple solution. She told Famita that a friend happened to be in the area and asked if they could stop by and see JC in person. So according to Lee, that request was never answered. And at this point, she's thousands of miles.
How, wait, you can ask a friend to go check on him, but you can't ask that same friend to watch the damn dog? Like I said, you have no friends whatsoever to watch the dog that you can pay? You're only gone for 10 days. That's not a long time.
Miles away. She's already worried. And, you know, the one thing that could have given her peace of mind, a quick visit from a friend, that just was being completely ghosted. So obviously she had a bad feeling, but she also didn't have much of a choice except to, I guess, trust that everything would be fine and hopefully that Famita is a normal, sane, responsible person. But regardless, her trip finished, she was headed home and she was expecting to land, pick up JC, and go back to her normal life. Instead, while she was still traveling, everything changed. So according to Lee, Famita contacted her and said, hey, there was an emergency. Then came the message that no pet owner really wants ever. JC passed away. Lee said that she couldn't even process what she was hearing. She later recalled screaming on the airplane saying this is impossible. She couldn't stop crying and everyone around her was staring because she was completely overwhelmed. Because just hours earlier, she believed that her dog was being taken care of. But now she was trying to understand how a healthy 7-year-old husky suddenly lost his life during a routine 10-day pet sitting stay. Like this just doesn't make sense. But as devastating as that phone call was, it wasn't the end of the shock because while Lee was still making her way home, her boyfriend went to meet Famita outside of the vet clinic in Manhattan to receive JC's body. And Famita and her boyfriend—
You couldn't ask the fucking boyfriend to watch the dog? You couldn't ask the boyfriend to watch the dog for 1 week? In a week, like 1 week? You have a friend can go check on this lady for the dog, but you couldn't ask the boyfriend to watch him? What? Something about this don't feel right. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that. I don't know. I know everyone's lives is different. I know some people don't have like certain resources to certain things, and I get it. Things happen, life happens. Maybe there's a good excuse for it, but geez, you couldn't find at least one person you can trust to watch the dog? Oh God, holy hell.
Arrived with JC's body inside of a plastic bag in a suitcase, which is just so disgusting and incredibly tone deaf to do. Like, it's one of those moments where you almost kind of have to rewind and go, okay, why would you ever do that? What's going on here? Obviously, not because transporting a deceased animal to a vet is unusual, but because of just like how that animal was transported. Like the image of a beloved family dog being wheeled to a vet inside of a garbage bag, inside of a suitcase just sounds gross. I mean, calling this sick, that would be an understatement. Like, I get not knowing what to do.
I have this weird feeling that the lady is Middle Eastern.
But also, this is just a whole new level of being disrespectful to an animal. So Famita has since said that the vet clinic closest to her apartment was too busy to help, so she decided to take JC to another clinic instead. And she also said that she transported him in the suitcase because she didn't know any other way to move him safely and quickly. And she also
Safely and quickly? You put him in a suitcase. He's not gonna breathe. What?
also said that JC's owners were told beforehand how the body was being transported, but when Lee's boyfriend met them outside the clinic, he says that he was completely caught off guard. So Famita and her boyfriend didn't even bring JC inside themselves. Instead, after arriving, they left, and Lee's boyfriend took the suitcase into the clinic. So Lee's boyfriend says that there was a strong odor coming from the suitcase before it was even opened. He also recalled that several dogs already inside of the office began whining when they rolled in. Then according to him, a staff member questioned the timeline.
The pet hospital told us he did not look like he passed away that same day. That was when everything hit us and we began questioning what really happened. I stayed quiet because I was heartbroken and grieving.
And this is a little bit shocking to me because, like, why would she not go in with the boyfriend to try to figure out what happened? There's just something off here. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of, like, if someone's, like, God forbid, someone's dog died in my custody, I would want to be with them for as long as possible until I literally cannot provide any more answers. Like, it doesn't make sense that she would be like, well, here you go. Or actually with a suitcase. Oh, here you go.
Jesus Christ, bro. Oh my God. This bugs me so much. The incompetency. The incompetence. Like, what? Like, oh man, poor pup.
Oh, that's your problem now. See ya. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So he says the nurse looked at the condition of JC's body and essentially told them that if they'd been told the dog died the same morning, the condition of the body didn't appear to match that timeline. So the staff's initial reaction raised a whole bunch of questions. So to try to get some real answers, Lee authorized a full necropsy, essentially an autopsy for animals, hoping that it would finally explain what had happened to JC. So to try to get some real answers, Lee authorized...
The traumatized pet owner ordered an autopsy, okay, to gain some insight into the dog's death. Okay.
Authorized a full necropsy, essentially an autopsy for animals,
hoping
okay,
that's
that
I thought it says autopsy. That was spelled wrong. Okay, I was not paying attention. My bad.
Would finally explain what had happened to JC. But unfortunately, the report would end up answering far fewer questions than anyone had really hoped, because the results of the necropsy were heartbreaking and just frustrating, because Lee had hoped it would finally tell her what happened, but unfortunately, JC had decomposed too much for them to actually tell what happened.
What? How fast can a body decompose within 10 days? An animal's body. Damn. The report says the results are inconclusive because the degree of the autolysis, the first stage of oh my God. What the fuck did you do to this dog, lady? That's weird. Like, okay. What did you do to this dog? Oh my God.
And this just made it impossible to determine a definitive cause of death. And the report did not note signs of muscle wasting and also muscle atrophy. However, it also stated that it could not determine whether that condition had developed over a longer period of time or resulted from something that happened while JC was being taken care of. So,
oh my gosh, common sense, people. Common sense. Oh man. Common sense is not common.
Testing also did not indicate poisoning. So despite all the questions surrounding the case, the medical findings couldn't provide a clear answer to why JC lost his life. But Lee believes JC died because of negligence while he was in Famita's care. And meanwhile, Famita has consistently denied harming JC and says that she found him unresponsive that morning. And obviously, I am no medical professional here, but, you know, between the stench and the fact that this dog was obviously very cared for prior to all this, it seems like something happened to him while in Famita's care. Again, that's just what it looks like on my end. Something just seems off. Like, the dog, if she found him passed away that morning, and then delivered him in a suitcase that day, why was the dog decomposed so much? Why was it...
Good question. So what I'm guessing what happened is the dog died in her care probably that same day, bro. The same day the dog was dropped off was the day it died. And then she decided to put the dog in the bag that same day. Left it in a corner somewhere where it's hot. And it just started cooking. That's the only thing. That's 10 days. How does it start decomposing in 10 days? I guess it's possible, but like Jesus Christ, like that feels like such a short amount of time till a body starts decompose. Like, hold on. Like, maybe like how long does it take for a animal to decompose? An animal's soft tissue typically decomposes in a few weeks to a few months, while skeleton takes anywhere from 1 to 5 years. The exact timeline depends heavily on the animal's size, the environment, and whether it's exposed to scavengers. Decomposition is categorized into specific stages based on environmental exposure. Exposed and outside soft tissues can break down 2 to 8 weeks in warm insect-rich environments. In highly favorable summer conditions, scavengers and insects can reduce small to medium-sized animals to hair and bones in a little to 1 to 2 weeks. This dog was not dead for a whole week. It was dead. It died the day it came in this woman's care. So I'm assuming that it died as soon as that lady left. It was killed. And even that is not enough time for it to start decomposing. So she killed that dog, put it in the bag, and then I think what she poured probably bleach or something on it to speed up the process or something. Because how does it start decomposing so fast in such a small amount of time? That's very odd. Very, very odd. That's weird.
Already smelling. There's a whole lot of whys there. I mean, just the way that JC was transported should be pretty much criminal in itself. But obviously, no criminal charges have been filed.
What? I would charge the shit out of that lady. I will be her living nightmare. I'll be her terrorist demon. I will be literally on that ass. Are you serious? You killed my dog. My beloved little dog. 7-year-old. He's not even old. He's 7 years old. He's young. Young dog, bro. 7 years old dog? Young. He ain't decomposing anytime soon. She did something to that dog that is probably unholy as hell. I don't know. When you mess with people's dog, especially as a beloved dog, not a dog, a beloved dog, that's like going after their kids, bro. No. If I had a pup and I took care of him that much to the point I'm taking pictures of them and all that stuff, and I have a birthday and all that stuff, and they killed my dog. Yeah, but I put an animal, right? I put an animal. And it says soft tissue typically decomposes in a few weeks to a few months. You said 9 days? So she died. So the dog. So she's gone for wait, did she say she got back early? She said she was gone for 10 days, but I think that he said she got back early. So if I'm going to say 10, she got back around like 7 or 8. I'll say 8. I don't know. That's a...
filed, and instead, Lee said that she intends to pursue civil action, hoping that, I guess, the process might provide at least some sort of accountability, or at the very least, answers that she says she never received. But unfortunately for Lee, even that proved to be more difficult than expected. So in the weeks and months that followed, Lee says that she tried to move forward with a civil lawsuit, and she said that she even struggled to even serve Famita with court papers because Lee's boyfriend was stopped by a doorman when he tried to reach Famita's apartment, and the family members at another listed address reportedly didn't answer the door when police attempted to help serve the paperwork. But meanwhile, life on the internet just kept moving. The story about JC never completely disappeared, but it also never became a major headline. So then something more unexpected happened, because months later, Famita found herself at the center of a completely different controversy. So this is about a family-owned Vietnamese restaurant in New York called Chef Papa, publicly accusing her of failing to follow through on an influencer collaboration after allegedly receiving around $200 worth of complimentary food and drinks.
An influencer scammed my family-owned restaurant. Hi, my name is John. I'm the owner and son of Chef Papa Vietnamese.
Yo, this bitch is a demon. She killing dogs and she's doing influencer work. She's a demon. For a human, that takes 9 days. For an animal, wait. How long does it take for a dog? I say a dog's soft tissue, typically 7-year-old dog, or a 7-year-old dog. A dog's body takes anywhere from 6 months to 2 years to decompose into a skeleton. Okay, no. Okay, start. I mean, how long does it take for a dog to start decomposing? Because yeah, I'm fine with it. Let me see. How long does it take for a dog to start decomposing? A dog's body begins to decompose immediately after death. Gut bacteria and digestive enzymes starts breaking down internal tissues right away. The highly visible signs such as the body cooling, rigor mortis, and bloating from bacterial gas typically becomes notable within a few hours to days. Oh shit. So it says here, okay, the rate of decomposition heavily depends on environmental factors and stuff. Initial stage 0 to 2 days. The body cools, rigor mortis, so it starts within the first 2 days. Bloating 2 to 7 days. Bacteria in the gut produce gas, causing the abdomen to swell and sinking correlation to the. Oh my god! So the dog started decomposing in 2 days. So I'm gonna just say because the dog was dead, she said, Nah, I think the dog died the day it was given to her. Yeah, I think what happened is, I'm gonna assume what happened was that the dog died. Hey, Calendar. Just to let you know, Calendar, your name is in the latest video, so if you want to go check that out, you can. It's in the reaction channel. I appreciate you becoming a subscriber. If you have any art questions, please send me a message on Discord or on Instagram if you have my Instagram, link in bio. Let me see. So the thing is, I believe the dog died. I think it ate something it shouldn't. Maybe got in her perfume, or I don't know. I think it ate something like, I don't know.
Kitchen. We had this influencer contact us through Instagram asking if we had any collaboration opportunities. As you can see here, she contacted.
Yeah, she needs to call up John Wick. This situation will be ended almost instantly. If she just called John Wick, it'll be over.
Then something more unexpected happened, because months later, Famita found herself at the center of a completely different controversy. So this is about a family-owned Vietnamese restaurant in New York called Chef Papa, publicly accusing her of failing to follow through on an influencer collaboration after allegedly receiving around $200 worth of complimentary food and drinks.
An influencer scammed my family-owned restaurant. Hi, my name is John. I'm the owner and son of Chef Papa Vietnamese Kitchen. We had this influencer contact us through Instagram asking if we had any collaboration opportunities. As you can see here, she contacted us first. I asked when she would like to come in. She said she would like to come in tonight at 8:30 p.m. She ate about $200 worth of food and left a $6 tip. Of course, the $200 bill was comped. About a month passes by. Haven't heard anything from her. She didn't message us. We reached out.
What I would do as an influencer? If they're gonna give me $200 worth of food, I'll give them a $400 tip. I would do that. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. If I was a food influencer, and I had money like that where I'm asking people for, like, collab, like, I would have $400 off rip. Shit, I won't even buy $200 worth of food. I'll buy $100 worth of food, or $50 worth of food, and give them $400 worth of tip. Straight up. I know that's a lot for a big tip, but they'll trust me from that point. Straight up. The point of being an influencer is showing that you have trust within yourself, your audience, and the people you're working with, so they don't have to think, are you going to scam me? Right? Especially if you're dealing like mom and pops type shit. Because these people are not businesses who have soulless entities inside themselves who don't have nothing to do, right? So if I'm going to get $200 worth of food, you're getting a $400 tip. Because what's going to happen, if I have to be honest, because I don't know if they're just showing off the restaurant or they're talking about the food. Now, if you're talking about the food, I'm still going to give you a $400 tip. So this is what I would do. Come in. We talk business. They give me the food. I sit down, eat the food. I give my honest opinion on the food. Correct. So, like, I will give my honest opinion on the food, because what happens is if you get free stuff, they're expecting good compliments. But to keep the honesty in check, but they get what they want at the same time, alongside not doing free stuff for free, I will give you a $400 tip. So I not only that I pay for the food, you get $200 worth of profit. So when I give my opinion, whether I'm dunking on the food or not, you didn't lose anything. You got exposure, you got money, and I got to eat. Oh, and give my opinion. I think that's fair. What do you guys think? Do you think that's fair? I want to hear from chat. What do you think, chat? You think that's fair? Because I don't like it when they do that whole, like, oh, because you're a sponsor, I need to give you good reviews. I think that's buying reviews, and that's going to make problems in the future. Because you don't know if the place is genuinely good if you're getting free stuff from them. Because we don't know if it's good. It might look good inside, but is the food good? That's the whole point. Yeah, that's more than fair. You see? See? That's good business. They get exposure, they get paid, I get free food, and I pay for the food just in case if they didn't like my review. So they didn't lose anything. So they get more than I lost. So, fair. Fair. Because mom and pops, like what Mikey said, mom and pop stores and communities are literally the heart of the community. It's not the McDonald's. It's not the Burger Kings. The Burger Kings and McDonald's is probably like the insurance to, like, if the mom and pop store that you usually go to is not open today because they have something going on or something like that. McDonald's and Burger Kings are always there, but there's something different when you go to a mom and pop's place and eat at their place, because it's like there's a family like thing, especially if you live there. It's a family thing, right? It feels like there's a community at you're trying to, like, you know, stay connected with. So I think that's only fair. Now, if it's like a AAA company, like I don't know, McDonald's is giving me a sponsorship to eat their fucking burger, I'm not paying shit, but I am still gonna give you my opinion. You can go eat grass. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're gonna give me the latest burger and you want me to eat it, you're gonna pay me. I'm gonna take the pay, but I'm still gonna criticize the shit out of your McDonald's. You guys can be fine. I'm not crippling you guys with my words, but I'm definitely crippling the Joe Schmoes over there down the street on whatever lane I live at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Y'all McDonald's, you got thousands of stores. No one gives a fuck of my opinion. They're gonna still eat at McDonald's, but no one's gonna go to Joe Schmoes. Only fair. Fuck you. You're a billion-dollar company. You'll live. I'm just some idiot with a camera.
Asking if there was an update when the video we posted. No response. We tried following up multiple times. No response. We were completely ignored.
So the restaurant claimed it repeatedly tried to contact her about the promised content before eventually deciding to tell its side of the story online. And that dispute explodes across TikTok and Instagram. And suddenly, thousands of people were searching for...
Yeah, I think it's awful. It's good. They get profit out of it. I would do that. Offer it. Just to keep them in line so they don't feel like they just did a lot of work. Because you remember, mom and pops are just surviving. Keeping a restaurant open is a hard thing to do, bro. Especially if you're just doing it with your family or just by yourself or whatever case. It is a hard business. So $400 is a lot. It does a lot for little mom and pop stores. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we ignore the working class, middle class families way too much, and they get destroyed by these like bigger companies like Walmart and all of them when they like come through. So, you know, it's kind of hard. It's hard to compete with the billion-dollar company right across from you. You know what I'm saying? When they have thousands of workers, now they got AI doing shit. Just imagine being a mom and pop store trying to, you know, compete with the AI. You know what I'm saying? That's not fun. So yeah, I think $400 is only fair. $200 profit is worth it. But fuck you, McDonald's, if you ever give me money. I'm gonna criticize the shit out of you.
Famida's name. And that's when many of them discovered about the whole story about JC. So essentially, the restaurant controversy brought way more attention to the dog's case than any...
Honestly, I think if you're gonna be a mom and pop store, you're gonna work with influencers, I think you should get that in writing. I think that's only fair. Just in case they like to flake on you and do this weird shit. I think that's only fair. I think if you're going to work with an influencer, especially a food one, and they want to do like a whole collaboration thing, you have to get that in writing and get a lawyer if you're going to do this. So when they flake on you, you can come after them with papers.
Anyone ever thought. So the two stories weren't directly connected, but obviously it was about the same person. So within days, people who had never heard of JC were sharing his story and demanding answers and asking why this case had received so little attention for so many months. And this is obviously also how I found about this story, which is why I wanted to cover it. But as the backlash grew, Famida eventually released a lengthy public statement addressing both controversies. So first, for the Chef Papa situation, she admitted that she hadn't handled things properly. She says that what happened came down to a miscommunication and lack of urgency on her part, and she acknowledged that she had been unresponsive to the restaurant and apologized for not fulfilling her side of the collab. But when it came to JC, her response was very different. Here she said that she woke up on the final morning of his stay and found him unresponsive. She said that she immediately contacted Lee and tried to get him to a vet, but because the family wanted to handle any further testing themselves, they arranged to meet at a clinic instead. So she also addressed one of the biggest points of criticism, the suitcase. So according to Famida, she transported JC that way because it was the only practical option she had at the time. She also said that she wasn't trying to disrespect JC or his owners and simply didn't know another way to move him quickly. I don't know about that. So
that is so dumb. That is so dumb. Do you know how much work to take a dead dog and put it in a plastic black bag? And then take that plastic black bag with a dead dog in it and put it in a suitcase just to haul around? That is so stupid. This is one of those woman moments. Woman moment. Not to all women. I know there's some smart, brainy women out there, but like this is one of the ones that just kind of, for every 5 good things women do, there is like 1 or 2 who just sent you back to the Stone Ages by like 20 steps back.
JC really passed that morning. He wouldn't be decomposed yet, so you can put him in a blanket and carry him, put him in a car or something like that. You can do it a little bit more respectful than up into a trash bag and then just like slamming it into a suitcase. Now, obviously, if she was lying and the body was already decomposing.
There's a video I want to show you. It's on the most stubborn restaurant owners, and send it me. Send it me. Send it me. Okay, so we'll make that the final video then. Send it me. Send it me now.
Moving it in a blanket wouldn't be the easiest thing to do, which could explain why the trash bag and suitcase was her only reasonable option. But again, all of this is just speculation. We don't actually know. But she also said that she would never intentionally harm an animal. In her statement, she expressed sympathy for Lee and her family, saying that she was deeply sorry for their loss and for the distress the case had caused people who followed it online. And at the same time, she explained that she couldn't discuss every detail because the matter had become a part of a civil lawsuit. So what we do know is that JC passed away while he was in Famita's care. We also know his owner says that she became increasingly worried because communication completely stopped, and the photos she received raised a whole bunch of concerns. And that, of course, the request to have a friend check on him was never answered. We know JC's body was transported to a clinic in a suitcase, and we also know the necropsy couldn't determine the cause of death because of the advanced state of decomposition. It also noted muscle wasting, found no indication of poisoning, and left Lee without any clear medical answers that she'd been hoping for. Famita has consistently denied harming JC, has apologized for the pain caused to the family, and says that she'll cooperate with the civil lawsuit. So, at least for now, the legal process isn't centered around proving a crime. It's about whether the civil courts determine someone should be held financially responsible for what happened. But then obviously, when you leave your pet with someone, you're trusting them with a member of your family. Most people don't think twice about boarding their dog or hiring a pet sitter because they expect to come home, open the front door, and see a wagging tail waiting for them. But for Lee, that didn't happen. So for now, we're just sitting with a whole bunch of unanswered questions. When we do get some answers, I'll probably make an update video. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.
Oh no, bro. Oh no, man. Poor pup. We'll never know how he passed away. I believe the dog died the day she gave the dog to her. I don't think she died in no morning. I think the lady did something to the dog. Because she said she had pictures. The dog was all dirty. What were you doing with the dog? That's the question. Let me see. Depending on the poison, or could leave the body long after. Maybe we'll never know, cause she was gone for only 10 days. She said she was only gone for 10 days. So God knows what he ate or what she did to that dog. We'll never know. That's so sad. That's one of the most saddest things when you can't even know how you died. It's like one of those. It's like Edgar Allan Poe. We'll never know how bro died, but he died mysteriously. But we'll never know how he died. We'll never know. Very weird. Anyway. Ooh. Oh, your cheeks must be all puffed up, bud. Alright, yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. Alright, guys. I think it's time for us to jump out of here. I think we did our job for today. I think that video will be the only video I'll edit today, the one with the puppy. So, it is what it is. So, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a great night, everyone. I appreciate every last one of you. I will be on tomorrow. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of reactions tomorrow, like 1 or 2, and then we're gonna go play Marvel Rivals tomorrow because Jubilee will be out tomorrow. So, yeah, we're gonna be playing some Marvel Rivals. Yay! All right, have a great night, guys. Sorry, Nathan, you came out late. I'm sorry, bud. All right, have a great night, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you, PT. Thank you, Bri. Thank you, Mikey, and everyone that came in and said hi. Yeah, everyone be safe out there. Yes, we'll be safe out there, guys. Never know. Some babysitter / dog sitter might take you away from your family. Watch out. All right. Have a great night, guys. I'm out. Keep safe.